This episode is sponsored by Butcherbox. Butcherbox delivers high-quality beef, chicken, pork, and seafood directly to your home in an eco-friendly, 100% recyclable box. New members will get $10 off their first box plus bacon for life, which is one pack of bacon in every box for the lifetime of your subscription. Go to the link in the video description for more info.
If you present your VIP card, you get access to our exclusive new sandwich, the Pork Picnic.
Slow-cooked baked beans, hearty coleslaw, and 3 different types of barbecue pulled pork. Now that's lip-licking good.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we're taking a look at the Pork Picnic Sandwich from Regular Show, which gives us the opportunity to try out 3 different kinds of pulled pork. A classic Memphis Dry Rub with Kansas City style sauce, a South Carolina vinegar barbecue, and the mysterious Alabama white. Let's start with the Memphis style Dry Rub, courtesy of AmazingRibs.com. We got 3/4 of a cup each, dark brown and white sugar, 1/4 cup of garlic powder, a 1/2 cup of sweet American paprika, 2 tablespoons ground ginger, 2 tablespoons onion powder, and 2 teaspoons rosemary powder. This, along with 2 tablespoons of freshly ground black pepper, creates Meathead's Memphis Dust, an amazing all-purpose barbecue dry rub, which you might notice is missing one essential ingredient: salt. That's because in barbecue, meat has all different shapes, sizes, and surface areas, so you want to season your meat first with kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper for 2 reasons. First, so that you can make sure that it is not over nor under salted, and second, so that you can effectively dry brine your meat. Salting it and letting it sit overnight in the fridge is both going to deeply flavor the meat and help with moisture retention. So we're starting by removing any large pieces of excess fat before generously coating on all sides and surfaces with kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper. Let them sit overnight in the fridge, and for our Alabama and South Carolina pork, that's going to be it. They're headed onto the smoker wearing nothing but S&P. But our Memphis style is getting a generous rub down with our Memphis Dust. You can pat down the pork with a little bit of water to help things adhere if necessary. Just make sure that everything's coated as evenly and as thoroughly as possible. So there we go, all these guys are headed into the fridge overnight before heading onto the smoker, which gives us time to talk about what sets the South Carolina style pork apart: a vinegar-based mop sauce. We're combining a 1.5 cups of white distilled vinegar, a tablespoon of salt, 2 teaspoons crushed red pepper, a tablespoon of sugar, and a few dashes of your favorite hot sauce. Tiny whisk that together until everything's dissolved, and then we're headed over to the smoker. I got my Traeger preheated at 225 degrees Fahrenheit using a mixture of hickory, maple, and cherry wood. And now we're going to leave these boys to smoke for 16 hours, during which time we're only going to disturb them to mop our South Carolina style pork. You want to paint the meat down with the mop sauce every hour or so, permeating it with spicy, vinegary goodness. I know 16 hours seems like a long time, but you will be rewarded with the tenderest, juiciest, pulliest, partiest, porkiest pulled pork you've ever dared dream of. So I know I've been jumping around a lot. Let's review our 3 different styles thus far. On your left, my right, we have the Memphis style, which was hit with the Memphis Dry Rub before smoking. On your right, we've got the Alabama style, which at this point is just salt, pepper, and smoke. And then in the center, we have the South Carolina style, which was hit with salt and pepper and then mopped every hour with our vinegar mop sauce. We're gonna let these guys hang out under cover of foil for about 45 minutes while we make the rest of our sauces. First up, a general purpose Kansas City style barbecue sauce. I'm sauteing together 1/2 small onion and 2 cloves of garlic that I'm grating into some vegetable oil, letting those sweat a little bit before adding 1 tablespoon of chili powder, letting that toast together with the onions for about 30 seconds before adding my wet stuff. Starting with about a 1/2 cup of good old-fashioned ketchup. This can be adjusted as per your tastes. 1/2 cup of bright yellow ballpark style mustard, 2.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon blackstrap molasses, 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of honey, a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. I know this seems like a lot of sugar, but barbecue sauce is sweet. A few dashes of our favorite hot sauce, and a few pinches of our dry rub. Bring this guy up to a simmer and let him cook for about 15 minutes until nice and thick, and adjust to your taste. That's what makes barbecue sauce special. Is it too sweet? Add some vinegar, hot sauce, and ketchup. Is it not sweet enough? Add any of the 10 kinds of sugar that we added. Just make sure it's cooled completely before bottling and selling on Kickstarter. And now for the enigmatic Alabama white sauce. We're starting with 1 cup of mayonnaise, 1 teaspoon each horseradish and mustard, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/2 cup of vinegar, the juice of 1/2 lemon, and 1 or 2 cloves of grated garlic. These guys come together to make a rich, bracing, beguiling sauce, which when seasoned with kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper tastes really quite good, and I'm excited to see how it's going to play on our sandwich. And with that, it is time for the blessed ritual, the pulling of the pork. We're starting with the South Carolina stuff. It shouldn't be complete mush, but it should absolutely be tender enough to do this by hand. You should also see a deep pink smoke ring around the outside of your meat. Once the South Carolina stuff is shredded and all the extra fat and bones discarded, we are tossing it together with a very generous amount of our vinegar mop sauce. Our Memphis Dry Rub is getting a squirt of our Kansas City style sauce, and the Alabama stuff is getting the Alabama stuff. And there you have it, folks, three distinct regional styles of pulled pork. The Memphis style dry rub and Kansas City sauce is probably what most of us associate with barbecue, sweet, smoky, and saucy. The addictive South Carolina style has a lovely, spicy, vinegary bite to it, and the rich, bracing sauce of the Alabama white is honestly not for me, but I think it's going to be great on a sandwich. Speaking of which, I completely forgot about the baked beans and coleslaw that I need to make. So for the baked beans, we're browning up a half pound of thick cut bacon that we've cut into bite-sized pieces, removing it once all the fat is rendered out and it's nice and crisp, and then 1 tablespoon of the remaining fat, we're going to saute a half small chopped onion, deglaze the pan with 2 cups of water, scrape up all that good stuff off the bottom of the pot. That is where all the flavor lives. Then we're adding 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of blackstrap molasses, 1 teaspoon of dry mustard powder, and of course the titular ingredient, 2 drained 15-ounce cans of navy beans, and a bay leaf for good measure. Add our bacon back to the party, and this guy's either going to simmer over low heat or bake at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours until it's nice and thick and has a texture reminiscent of baked beans. Season liberally with kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper, add more sweet if necessary, and that's all there is to it. For our coleslaw, we're doing a vinegar-based Carolina style slaw. 3/4 of a cup apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 cup each vegetable oil and sugar, 1 teaspoon celery seeds, 1 teaspoon Dijon mustard, big old pinch of kosher salt, and freshly ground black pepper. Then we're going to go ahead and tiny whisk this together until everything's dissolved and it forms a lovely dressing. Then for a nice rainbow effect, we're using half a head of thinly sliced purple cabbage, a half head of green cabbage, 2 grated carrots, and 1 small thinly sliced onion. Toss this all together by hand, there really is no other way to do it, and there you have it, a nice vinegar-based slaw. Now all there is left to do is assemble our sandwich. Those who know me know that I only toast the inside of my sandwich. This both protects the roof of your mouth and the sandwich itself from all of its gooey fillings. Speaking of which, I'm starting with a layer of baked beans and then topping with each of our regional styles of pulled pork. Alabama white followed by South Carolina, followed by Memphis style with extra Kansas City barbecue sauce. A big old pile of coleslaw, and then it's time to top it up. The VIP only pork picnic sandwich in question was garnished with a single olive. I'm going with 2, both for structural stability and so I can make it look like my sandwich has 2 little eyes. Looking around the room, wondering what's going on. Oh no, sorry little buddy, but we do need a cross section. And what a cross section it is. Just about everything I imagine when I think of the words pork picnic. But has it taste? And as you can imagine, it tastes really good. When you take all these delicious things and shove them together, it's gonna taste nice. The distinct style of each barbecue kind of gets lost in the cacophony of flavor, and I'm honestly not digging baked beans on a sandwich, but those are about all the complaints I can muster up. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to have my cholesterol checked. Thanks again to Butcherbox for sponsoring this episode. Butcherbox sources from farmers and fishermen who meet the highest standard for quality. You choose your box type and delivery frequency and can skip or cancel a month at any time. Your order will come frozen at the peak of freshness in an eco-friendly 100% recyclable box. You can create your own custom box or choose one of the boxes that they curate for you. New members will get $10 off their first box plus bacon for life. Head to the link in the video description for more info.